Welcome back to English Radio Podcasts. I'm your host, Alex, and today we are diving into a topic that many people care about, but often misunderstand: how to appear more elegant, confident, and high value in everyday life. This is not about money, brands, or showing off. It's about behavior, mindset, communication, and presence. And to help us explore this topic deeply, we have Julia with us today, an expert in personal development and social behavior.
Thank you, Alex. I'm really happy to be here. I think the biggest misconception is that elegance is something you buy, but in reality, it is something you practice. Studies in social psychology show that people judge confidence and status more from body language, tone of voice, and behavior than from appearance alone. This means anyone can become more elegant by changing how they act and communicate.
That's a powerful point. So elegance starts from within, not from external things. Julia, let's start with the first practical tip. If someone wants to instantly appear more confident and high value, what is the first thing they should change in their daily behavior?
The first and most powerful tip is posture and body language. Research shows that standing straight, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and making calm eye contact can significantly increase how confident you appear. People often underestimate this, but your body speaks before you do. When your posture is strong and relaxed, others naturally see you as more confident and composed.
That makes sense because first impressions are often nonverbal. Now let's move to the second tip. Many people talk too fast or too much when they are nervous. How important is the way we speak when it comes to appearing elegant and confident?
The way you speak is extremely important. Speaking slowly, clearly, and with pauses shows control and confidence. People who rush their words often appear anxious or unsure. Also, using simple and clear language is more powerful than using complicated words. Elegant communication is about clarity, not complexity. When you speak calmly and thoughtfully, people listen more carefully and respect you more.
That's a very practical advice. Now let's talk about something many people struggle with: emotional control. Sometimes people react quickly when they feel disrespected or stressed. Julia, how does emotional control affect the way people see us?
Emotional control is one of the strongest signals of confidence and elegance. When you stay calm under pressure, people see you as stable and powerful. Reacting too quickly, especially with anger, can damage your image. A simple but effective technique is to pause before responding. This small delay gives your brain time to think and respond wisely instead of reacting emotionally.
That's a great tip. Pausing before reacting. I think many people need to practice that. Now let's move to another important factor: appearance. We said earlier that elegance is not about expensive brands, but appearance still matters. What role does simple and clean style play in creating a high-value image?
Appearance matters because it sends a message before you speak. A clean, simple, and well-fitted style often looks more elegant than something expensive but messy. Neutral colors, good grooming, and attention to detail create a strong impression. Research shows that people associate cleanliness and simplicity with professionalism and reliability. It's not about showing wealth, but about showing care and awareness.
Julia, what we've discussed so far already feels very practical and realistic. Now I want to move into something deeper: how people behave in conversations. Many people interrupt others, talk too much about themselves, or don't listen carefully. From your experience, how important is active listening when it comes to appearing elegant and high value in social and professional situations?
Active listening is one of the most underrated skills. When you truly listen, you show respect, confidence, and emotional intelligence. People feel valued when they are heard. Simple behaviors like maintaining eye contact, nodding slightly, and asking follow-up questions create a strong connection. Research in communication psychology shows that good listeners are often seen as more intelligent and trustworthy.
That's very interesting because many people think talking more makes them more impressive. Now, I want to ask about boundaries. Sometimes people say yes to everything because they want to be liked, but it can make them look weak or unsure. Julia, how does setting boundaries affect the way others perceive us?
Setting boundaries is a sign of self respect and confidence. When you say no politely but clearly, people see that you value your time and energy. Always saying yes can make you look unsure or dependent on approval. Elegant people know their limits and communicate them calmly. This creates respect because others understand that your time and attention are valuable.
That's a powerful mindset shift. Now let's talk about something subtle but important. How people react to criticism. Some people become defensive or emotional when they receive feedback. Julia, how should someone respond to criticism if they want to appear calm, confident, and high value?
Responding to criticism with calmness shows maturity and confidence. Instead of reacting immediately, it's better to listen, consider the feedback, and respond thoughtfully. Even if the criticism is not fully correct, reacting with respect maintains your image. Studies show that people who accept feedback calmly are seen as more professional and emotionally intelligent.
That's very useful advice, especially in professional environments. Now I want to ask about consistency. Some people act confident one day and completely different the next day. Julia, how important is consistency in behavior when building a strong and elegant personal image?
Consistency is extremely important because it builds trust. When people know what to expect from you, they feel more comfortable and confident in interacting with you. If your behavior changes too much, others may feel uncertain. Elegant individuals are stable in their behavior, even in different situations. This creates a sense of reliability and strength.
That's a key point, being predictable in a positive way. Now let's talk about something that many people overlook. Energy. Some people bring positive energy into a room, while others bring tension. Julia, how does personal energy affect how people perceive us?
Personal energy has a strong impact. People are naturally drawn to calm, positive, and confident energy. If someone is always stressed or negative, it affects how others feel around them. Elegant individuals create a sense of comfort and balance. This doesn't mean always being happy, but being emotionally stable and respectful in your interactions.
Julia, I want to go deeper into something that people often misunderstand, and that is the idea of confidence versus arrogance. Sometimes people try to look confident, but they end up appearing arrogant or distant instead. From your professional experience, what is the key difference between real confidence and arrogance? And how can someone make sure they come across as confident without crossing that line?
Real confidence is calm, respectful, and secure, while arrogance often comes from insecurity and the need to prove something. Confident people don't need to dominate conversations or show off their achievements constantly. Instead, they listen, speak clearly, and respect others. Arrogance, on the other hand, often includes interrupting, ignoring others, or trying to appear superior. The key is balance, being aware of your value without needing external validation all the time.
That's a very clear distinction. Now I want to talk about something practical that people can apply immediately, how they walk and move. It might sound simple, but I've noticed that people who walk with purpose often look more confident and respected. Julia, how does the way someone walks or moves affect the way others perceive their personality and confidence level?
Movement is a strong nonverbal signal. Walking with a steady pace, relaxed shoulders, and clear direction shows confidence and control. When someone moves quickly, nervously, or without direction, it can signal uncertainty. Studies in body language show that people make quick judgments based on movement patterns. Even small adjustments, like slowing down slightly and keeping your head up, can change how others see you.
That's something people can practice every day without any cost. Now I want to ask about social presence. Some people enter a room and immediately attract attention without saying much. Others stay unnoticed even if they try hard. Julia, what creates that kind of presence, and how can someone develop it naturally over time?
Presence comes from a combination of confidence, calmness, and awareness. People who are fully present in the moment, not distracted or anxious, naturally stand out. Eye contact, posture, and controlled movements all contribute to this. Also, being comfortable with silence is important. You don't need to speak constantly to be noticed. When your energy is calm and grounded, people feel it and pay attention.
That's a powerful idea, being comfortable with silence. Many people feel the need to fill every moment with words. Now let's involve our listeners. If you are listening right now, which of these habits do you find most challenging? Confidence, communication, or emotional control? Share your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who wants to improve their presence.
That's a great question for self-awareness. When people identify their weakest area, they can focus their efforts more effectively. Improvement doesn't happen by trying to change everything at once. It happens by focusing on one habit at a time and practicing it consistently. This approach is supported by behavioral psychology, which shows that small, focused changes lead to long-term transformation.
That's very practical and realistic advice. Now I want to ask about long-term impact. If someone starts applying these habits consistently, how will their life change over time? Not just socially, but also professionally and personally?
Over time, these habits build a strong personal brand. People start to trust you more, respect you more, and take you more seriously. Opportunities increase because people prefer to work with confident and reliable individuals. Also, your internal state improves. You feel calmer, more in control, and more self-assured. This creates a positive cycle of growth.
Julia, as we come to the final part of this episode, I want to bring everything together in a simple way for our listeners. We talked about body language, communication, emotional control, boundaries, and presence. But sometimes people hear all this information and still don't take action. If you had to give just one simple rule that anyone can follow starting today to improve their image and confidence, what would that rule be?
The one rule is consistency in small behaviors. You don't need to change everything overnight. Focus on one habit like posture, speaking slowly, or listening better, and practice it every day. Over time, this small habit becomes natural, and then you add another one. Real elegance is built step by step. It is not a quick transformation, but a gradual and lasting improvement.
That really simplifies everything. It's not about being perfect, but about being consistent. Now I want to talk about perception one last time. Many people worry too much about what others think of them. Julia, how can someone improve themselves while not becoming overly dependent on other people's opinions?
It's important to listen to feedback, but not depend on it completely. You should have your own standards and values. When you know what you stand for, you don't need constant approval. Elegant people are aware of how they're perceived, but they don't lose themselves trying to please everyone. Balance is key, learning from others while staying true to yourself.
That's a very balanced perspective. Now let's talk about long-term identity. If someone keeps practicing these habits for months or even years, how does it change the way they see themselves? Not just how others see them.
Over time, these habits become part of your identity. You don't have to think about acting confident or calm, it becomes natural. This creates inner stability and self-respect. When your actions match your values, you feel more aligned and secure. This inner change is even more important than how others see you, because it builds true confidence from within.
That's very inspiring. Now I want to ask something final and personal. Julia, if someone is listening right now and feels that they are not confident, not elegant, and not where they want to be in life, what would you say directly to that person?
I would say that change is always possible, no matter where you start. You don't need to compare yourself to others. Focus on your own progress. Start small, stay consistent, and be patient with yourself. Growth takes time, but every step counts. The person you want to become is built through your daily actions, not through waiting or wishing.
That's a message many people need to hear. I think this episode shows that elegance and confidence are not about perfection or money, but about behavior, mindset, and consistency. Julia, thank you for sharing your knowledge and helping our listeners understand this topic in such a clear and practical way. And to all our listeners, thank you for staying with us until the end. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to subscribe, share it with your friends, and tell us in the comments which tip you will start using today. Remember, you don't need to be perfect to be elegant. You just need to start and stay consistent.